The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Let's break down the latest from Jets OTAs. Nick Faria was there earlier this week, and he provides us his thoughts on where things stand. It's the Jake Asman Show on a Knicks game day. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Here on a Friday, we're presented by Huga House. 20% off the hat I'm wearing and any of the Huga House Performance Line hats when you use promo code ASMAN at checkout. Just click the link in the description or go to hugahouse.com and enter code ASMAN at checkout so you can get 20% off. Let's say hello in his weekly spot to Jets beat reporter Nick Faria. Nick, happy Friday. How was OTAs? Have you dried off after being out there? A little surprised they were outside for that instead of indoors?
I think a little surprised. It seemed like they were hoping that the rain would pass them by the time practice ended, but not quite. It was rainy. It was cold. Very unlike typical weather in May.
It did lead to some pretty epic photos that the Jets themselves have released. Yeah. A lot of Garrett Wilson in the rain photos, which I certainly enjoy it, and I think the fans certainly enjoy as well.
No, 100%. And listen, Garrett Wilson, he's the focal point of this offense, and they are going to give him the ball, as Aaron Glenn said. So certainly positive to see that happening early on.
Specifically with Garrett, since I brought it up, he made comments to you guys at the podium. He wants to be a Jet for life. What do you make of those comments? Do you think the Jets and Garrett Wilson are trending towards a deal getting done before the season?
I think it's certainly a chance. It really just depends on what the general manager, Darren Muji, what his philosophy is. Now, there are some GMs in the league, Howie Roseman's probably the biggest example, who want to get deals done immediately. Whenever a player is eligible, you get that deal done, and you essentially pay for the player's potential moving forward. There are other GMs that look and say, well, no, we need full-on production before we give that kind of deal over. I think people kind of forget in 2021, Philadelphia signed Jordan Mailata to a long-term extension. Now, Mailata had started about 5 games up until that point, but they saw enough to give him a long-term deal. That's Philadelphia. Not every team wants to build the way Philadelphia does when it comes to cap manipulation and giving that money over. So with the Jets, with Garrett Wilson, it really just comes down to what this organization, what this general manager group really sort of delves into, what they focus on. Joe Douglas previously, he didn't really want to give long-term extensions out before he had to. And in a lot of ways, that kind of screwed up the Jets in their long-term planning. They had to essentially let some free agents go. Look at Bryce Huff, really good edge rusher, but they waited until the last minute to get a deal done, and he went to the highest bidder in Philly. So I do believe that Garrett Wilson will get a long-term deal done this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if this organization decides, hey, let's give it another year. Let's see what he looks like with Justin Fields at the helm. But certainly a deal getting done sooner rather than later is certainly should be the focus for this organization.
We know Aaron Glenn said that they plan on getting the ball to Garrett Wilson. Do you have confidence in Tanner Engstrand and Justin Fields to be able to design an offense that could truly take advantage of the talent Garrett Wilson is?
I certainly think Tanner Engstrand has enough NFL experience being with the Detroit Lions to understand how to scheme a player open when he is really the only number one target on a team. You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Detroit Lions, what they were able to build in that offense with him being a mid-round pick when he was drafted in 2021 to being one of the best receivers in the National Football League. Now, I'm not worried at all about this scheme with Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to excel whoever the quarterback is, whether it's Justin Fields or in the future with another quarterback. So you look at where this team is right now, yes, there's a lot of questions surrounding the quarterback. Can Justin Fields develop into a very solid passer? That still remains to be seen. But from a purely schematical standpoint, I think Garrett Wilson's in for a big year.
What do you make of the comments that Aaron Glenn said about Justin Fields, his leadership, once again continuing the trend of building up Justin Fields to be this team's franchise quarterback?
Listen, I think most people, both in Chicago and Pittsburgh, would say this as well. Justin Fields, the leader, he's a guy you want to root for, and he's a guy that you want to see succeed in the National Football League. Quiet, reserved, great leader, helps out. Aaron Glenn also mentioned the fact that he was creating different events throughout the offseason to connect not just with starters on the offense, but the entire Jets roster, people in the Jets building. He's gone out of his way to connect with people in this organization. And it shows that, listen, the Jets are behind him. The Jets want to see him succeed. But as great of a leader as he is, he has to show he can throw the football. And that remains to be seen if he can do it consistently. At OTA practice, I saw kind of what you continuously saw in Chicago and Pittsburgh. He's a little too hesitant to throw the football at times. He had one really bad throw to Stone Smart, who was wide open. And he just completely missed him. Again, first OTA practice that the media was seeing, things can be totally different. He was really good at 7-on-7, not so much 11-on-11, but this is the installation period. So when I say he could have been better in this practice, it's day 2 of these kind of work. So he will gladly and expectedly improve as the offseason program goes on. It's just a matter of, can he do it for a full 17-game season? He has not shown it yet. Statistically, he is the worst fourth quarter passer since he was drafted in the NFL in 2021. If he is able to produce at a high level, not just with his legs, but with his arm and his mind, then the Jets are going to be really fun to watch. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this roster to make things interesting. Justin Fields just has to be the last point there to put it all together.
If you're watching the show live, reminder that we're giving away a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, a signed Joe Namath jersey, and a signed CJ Mosley jersey in our upcoming Asmaniac raffle, which will take place next week. But in honor of a Football Friday, Jets OTAs in the air, we're going to do a daily raffle at the end of this show. For every membership that you gift, you're eligible to be a part of the raffle at the end of this show. And that prize is a signed jersey by former Jets first-round pick, Jets tight end, current radio analyst, Anthony Beck. So number 88, a signed and authenticated Anthony Beck jersey, could be yours if you gift a membership to enter the Asmaniac raffle at the end of this stream. So if you want in, $10 super chat gets you 2, so on and so forth. And of course, every membership you gift, that counts for a raffle entry. As far as what occurred on the field, Nick, give us some other players to you that you thought stood out. Give us some players that you thought impressed you when you got a chance to watch them up close for the first time in 2025.
Well, I think every reporter is going to talk about Will McDonald and how dominant he was, and he was absolutely fantastic. But one player that I thought actually looked solid is Stone Smart. I think eventually you're going to see a 2 tight end offense with Smart and Mason Taylor, and I think you can really develop into a solid duo. Smart got open consistently, really good route runner. He's kind of a tweener. He's too, I would say, slow to be a wide receiver, but he's also not big enough to be a full-on tight end. So I think having that kind of tweener mobility, kind of that sort of body look, I think Smart's going to be in for a positive year for the Jets. He's one of those underrated pickups that I thought could really produce at a high level. And after seeing him in practice for the first time, I came away very impressed. How about another guy, Rashad Weaver? Will McDonald dominated, but it's not like the second team or the second groups of defensive linemen were any worse. The Jets defensive line all day harassed the offensive line. Backup starters, it didn't really matter. I thought Weaver had a great practice, had a couple pressures, would have gotten a sack as well. He's another pickup from free agency. Brandon Stevens, I thought, was pretty solid, got beat a couple times by Garrett Wilson, but overall I thought stuck with him pretty well. It's just it all just depends on what is going to continue, how this team is going to build into the future. I mean, you look at things right now and we say, oh, this player looks really good now. This player really struggles. But at the end of the day, is that going to be the case when the pads come on? Is the offensive line going to struggle like they did on the second practice once the pads come on and they're running the ball more? That remains to be seen. I would like to think that this offensive line is only going to get better the more they actually work with each other moving forward. So, the way I say it, the way that I see it, it's more of just, hey, this is what happened today. This is what happened at practice on Wednesday. But that doesn't mean that it's time to panic about the O-line or what about, Sauce Gardner, all these other different things. It just means that for this particular practice early in the offseason program, this player played well. This player didn't really look as good.
Sauce Gardner did look like he added a lot of weight, just looking at some of the photos and videos I've seen.
Looks stronger. Absolutely. Looks stronger. I think his speed is still there. You're seeing the Jets defense, not just McDonald, but also Gardner. They look like they are built and ready to expand and continue to play at a high level consistently for an entire season.
Give us some insight on some of the rookies. You've now seen them at minicamp. You've now seen them at an OTA practice. What has stood out?
A.Z. Thomas looks really solid, guys. He's a corner that's going to be competing with Brandon Stevens. He's going to be competing all the way through. But you continuously look at a player that, listen, he's getting a little bit better in zone. He's still a great man-to-man defender at the cornerback level. I think he's going to be a very intriguing player that the Jets going to be utilizing, not just this season, but beyond as well. The other one I continuously point out, Arian Smith, had a couple of drops early in practice and drills. But in 11-on-11 work, had about a 20-yard comeback route, and he was wide open for it. And I mean wide open. This guy can get behind the defense in a hurry. When he catches the football consistently, he is going to be a threat to be dealing with throughout the 2025 season and beyond. Again, drops happen. It's got to be coached out of them. People are worried that it won't be able to happen at this point, but the way that I see it right now, Arian Smith continues to show exactly why the Jets drafted him in the 4th round. Regardless of how many fans were upset about it, he looks like a really solid player and someone who can contribute right away.
So you think he's going to have a role right away on this team?
I think he can, and I think he'll be ready for it because, the speed, just the flat-out speed is what you see right away. I mean, you look at Malachi Corley, and Corley shows a level of physicality that Arian Smith doesn't have, but Corley does not have the speed that Arian Smith that deals with, and I think that alone is why the Jets are going to be trying to utilize him as much as possible early on.
There's an interesting comment here from M.M. Morris. He says, it feels like Nick is always blowing smoke right up my ass. And the question I have for you, Nick, is would you say that this comment is an appropriate time to put this photo up on the screen after yesterday's afternoon stream?
I haven't seen. Is there something that's supposed to pull up or?
You don't see it?
No, I do not.
Really? Hold on.
I do not. Sorry.
What about now?
It might be my phone and whatnot, my computer.
You see it now?
Nope. I
No?
see just an empty box. It happens. So what
does
was
the chat see it? Is StreamYard down for people, or do people see what I have in the box right now? The crack of all cracks? No one. Snowball says Jake crack in the case. Can people see this? Okay, I think people could see it. All right.
All right. So it might just be me and my StreamYard. So apologies. But
well, anyway. You know what? Someone's looking out. Someone's looking after you, Nick, because I don't know if you want to see that.
So listen, no, it's not. Look, again, we also have to. When I talk about what I see at OTA's practice, this is purely just what.
And you're not blind, correct? Like you have good eyesight.
I'm not blind. I got 20/20 vision. All of that's there. I'm colorblind, but I can see green and white. I can see that difference. So I just look and observe at what I see, and I explain to the public. And yeah, listen, Arian Smith could look really, really good without pads on. And the minute the pads come on, he struggles. He gets bumped off his route too much, and he just sort of dives down into the bottom of the depth chart. That absolutely can happen. But as of right now, what I see right now is I see a really solid player, a guy that runs really fast, has great speed, and his route running is a lot better than I anticipated. I didn't think he'd be this good of a route runner early on. He went up against Thomas on that one particular play that I talked about. And like I said, he was open 20 yards downfield on a comeback route. This guy can run solid routes, has solid speed. And as long as he catches the football, he is going to be able to produce, I think, at a high level this season, or at least a little bit higher than most fans were anticipating following the draft, how everyone was so upset about him. Same thing for A.Z. Thomas. Thomas had a really good practice as well. Things can change. Things will change over the course of the next few months. That doesn't mean it's going to be set in stone, but for that particular practice on Wednesday, I thought Thomas and Smith had great work.
What has stood out just in some of the differences that you've noticed between what a Robert Saleh OTA has looked like versus what it's looked like with Aaron Glenn?
It is far more buttoned up. I think there's more communication. And the other interesting point that I saw yesterday, or excuse me, Wednesday, we're now on Friday, referees were back at practice. There was a point later in the Robert Saleh era where referees weren't really brought in. And it was kind of surprising to me because over the last couple of years, the Jets were the most penalized team in football. And it was kind of like, well, why don't we have the referees here? What are you not teaching these guys? Because they are clearly unprepared for some of these penalties that are called on them, whether it's holding, pre-snap, post-snap, whatever it ends up being. But that's changed a little bit. The referees were at practice on Wednesday. They called the Jets a couple of times for being offsides, for having a false start. They are far more buttoned up as an organization, in my opinion. This coaching staff is very intentional in how they do things and how they talk to their players. Again, we don't know what's going to happen with this staff, if it works out or not, but I have come away far more impressed early on in these first couple of months with Aaron Glenn than I was at the first couple of months with Robert Saleh when I was covering this team.
Look, I don't know if he's going to be a good head coach or not. Time will tell. But I do feel like there's a true leader leading this team, whereas it feels like at times Robert Saleh was maybe, hesitant to be the guy, tried to be like everyone's friend, for lack of a better term.
Too nice.
He was too nice. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's certainly a great defensive coach. He's going to do well with the Niners. We know that. But I don't know. I get a different vibe from Glenn. Doesn't mean he's going to be a good coach, but he's definitely a lot different than Robert Saleh personality-wise.
No, 100%. And I think you talk to the players, and the one thing they talk about is that balance. They have a coach that they feel they are comfortable enough to go and talk to, but also someone that's going to hold them accountable. And I think that's kind of where, not to say that Robert Saleh is a bad football mind or a bad football coach, but maybe he wasn't ready for this head coaching job specifically, because as a defensive coach, you have different assignments, different expectations than when you're running an entire team. And I think when you look at what the Jets are doing now, you are seeing far more accountability on the field. You're seeing far more aggressiveness in how they practice, making sure that everyone is doing what they need to do. Aaron Glenn is not calling plays on the defense, very similar to Robert Saleh. But the way he talks to players, the way he is handling the locker room is far more intentional, in my opinion, than what we saw from Robert Saleh.
Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Reminder, at the end of the show, we're giving away a signed Jets jersey, a signed Anthony Beck jersey. All you need to do to be entered is gift a channel membership. I'm compiling the list of names, and we'll give away a signed item here on a Football Friday show and keep the vibes positive. Interesting question here that I want to get your thoughts on from one of our listeners, Nick. The question was from Nate, who says, do you think the green and white scrimmage is just black and white as a colorblind man?
When it rains, when it actually rains pretty hard, I do have problems sometimes seeing the green. It will kind of look black. So it's happened a couple times when I watch football games with teams that are in sort of that darker green look where I'm like, what jersey is that? That's ridiculous. But again, it does not deter me because the other team is wearing white, so I will be able to differentiate.
Let's see. Rico writes in, Robert Saleh acted like he wanted to be one of the boys instead of being the boss.
I think that's a fair comment. I think it's a fair request. I do want to say that, again, a lot of young players developed really, really well under Robert Saleh. You look at Bryce Huff, you look at Michael Carter. There were a lot of solid talents on this team on the defensive end that improved under Robert Saleh's coaching. but it didn't really happen on the offensive side. And that's the big problem there. That's where you see a little bit of a difference with Aaron Glenn, because with Robert Saleh, he wanted veterans on offense. He essentially said, we're going to take care of the defensive side. We're going to grow with this youth movement on the defensive end, but we are going to have veterans on the offensive side that are going to run the show where I don't need to be in every single meeting. The Aaron Rodgers, the Devontae Adams, the Allen Lazards of the world. And it blew up in their face, because when you bring in those older veterans, if their body breaks down, they're not really able to help put out a solid plan for the overall group. And that's where you see Aaron Glenn's difference. He talked about it. The youth movement is real. He told a story about how he learned 10 years ago, not only was it a young man's game, but you can't be afraid of the young player. Too many coaches in the National Football League are afraid to play young performers because they don't want to have to deal with the kind of mistakes young players make. Aaron Glenn is of a different mind. He saw the Saints. He saw Bill Parcells. They all exceeded with that young talent. And I think you're going to see that on both sides of the football this year with the Jets.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. J-Boy is the first Asmaniac to enter our daily raffle at the end of this show. Give it up for J-Boy for gifting 5 channel memberships. The following 5 people are channel members: Daz Acoustif, KDG, Bobbleneck, Phantom Green and White, Pat Rich, and Bobbleneck, all receiving channel memberships. Big Loyal sent in a $10 super chat. That's 2 raffle entries. Congratulations, Big Loyal. You're in the raffle for 2. Mike Dems checking in with a 5 spot of channel memberships. Let's go. The following 5 listeners are now channel members: 3 Siblings J, Charleston Jet Room, Florida Man of Culture, Justin 79, and Extinguish the Guilt. And if you're just tuning in, because I see we just got a big viewership spike at the end of the show, we're doing a little daily raffle. Going to give away a signed Anthony Beck jersey, former Jets first-round pick, current Jets radio analyst on the Jets flagship station with Bob Lashusen. So we'll give that away at the end of this show. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. If you have any questions for Nick about anything specific, he's got to be out of here in just a few minutes. So make sure you ask your question now or forever hold your peace. Rick Kent writes in, is your colorblind issue, Nick, a problem at traffic lights?
It is not. It is not. It's more of just the green. When there's like brown or sort of darkish colors, when the green is there, I can't really differentiate. That's the only problem.
Southern Jet checks in. Nick, do you see Arian Smith running just go routes to take the top off, a.k.a. decoy, or do you see him running slant posts, etc., and actually being part of the game plan?
No, I see him being a part of the game plan. They are using him. We mentioned before, using that comeback route, the one deep catch that he had Wednesday in practice. He's going to be used. I really do believe if he shows this same kind of speed and athleticism and consistency in catching the football in team drills that we've seen in OTAs and rookie camp, I think they are going to carve a role for him as part of this game plan and not a guy that's going to get 5 touches and then get off the field.
Very interesting. I mean, look, I would love for this guy to be awesome. I got to see it. I got to see it. Let's see. We got a 5 spot here from Indy Jets. Indy, I like you, but the Pacers are losing tonight. Bang! 5 spot of channel memberships: Kyle Smith, Jorge Marino, Spin to Ben, Zoink Nation, Jet Up, Buttercup, all receiving channel memberships. Indy is in our raffle at the end of the show for 5. Is there anything big picture that we missed from the OTAs? I know there's another one next week and the week after, and then you'll have the mandatory stuff. But is there anything that really stood out to you to this point, Nick, we haven't hit on?
No, I think there's going to be people that sort of go on either side of the aisle when it comes to Justin Fields. Every good practice he has, the guys that are pro Fields are going to just jump up and say, we have our quarterback. And the people that are anti-Fields are just going to say, wow, this guy stinks. We're going to win, 3 games. I think there has to be somewhere in the middle. I don't think he had the best practice on Wednesday, but also it was a torrential downpour. I didn't think read the defense pretty well in 11-on-11. He struggled to sort of read what he was seeing, but that could certainly change when this team gets more ingrained with each other. Remember, he's learning a new offensive system. He's on his 3rd team in as many years. So this will take time. It's just a matter of I'm telling you guys what I saw. I didn't think he looked that good on Wednesday. If he looks good next week, I will say the exact opposite. I'm just giving the overall opinion of what I saw on Wednesday.
Hey now, $100 super chat. Bang! Bang! JYB in the raffle for 20. And by the way, everyone, when you enter the raffle for the Beck jersey at the end of the show, you're obviously in our big raffle next week that features the Clyde Frazier, Joe Namath, and CJ Mosley jerseys. No, I love a good raffle. Damn right you do, JYB. Appreciate your support as always. Love to catch a live show with one. Nick, how is our new punter looking after the Morstead departure? Big shoes to fill. There's nothing better than a $100 super chat. And the question is about a punter. I love this fan base. I love this listenership. JYB, you're the man. Nick, what'd you see from the new punter of the Jets?
Unfortunately, we didn't see a lot on the punting side. We did see a little bit on the kicking side. I thought Anders Carlson probably won the day. He was 3 for 4 with a couple of 50-yard kicks in the rain. That makes it even more impressive. So I thought Anders Carlson probably took day one of the media portion of OTA. So I will say that. Hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more of the punting side. But unfortunately for that particular practice, I didn't see much.
Philip Hannon is in the raffle for one. Philip, we appreciate you supporting the show. Let's go. Also, Paul Faz, check it in. 5-spot channel memberships in the raffle for 5. It's raining some memberships here. Delusional Jet fan Xavier Bradley, Italian Stallion, JT, and Dan Philcox got memberships from Paul. Rasta Dread got the membership from Philip. Good question here from our guy, Dylan Terraman, who checks in with an Asmaniac super chat, which, by the way, when you're a channel member, one of the perks is you get a free super chat every month. Just want to remind people of that. What's the word on the safety situation currently? Moore, a name to watch. Have you seen anything from Malachi Moore? And give us your assessment on the safety room.
Yeah, so again, we can't really talk about which ones are running with the 1s and the 2s per Jets guidelines to this point. But I will say I do like what I saw from Andre Sisco. I think Moore is going to be part of that rotation. It's just one of those things where, again, we're very early in the process. If Andre Sisco makes a play on the ball and looks really, really good, but the next practice he gets burned for a 50-yard touchdown, these opinions are going to change. So I think Sisco, Tony Adams, Malachi Moore, all of these guys are going to be in contention for playing time this year. It's just a matter of where in that rotation all of them will be. I certainly think Moore is going to be a name to watch once the pads come on because he is a physical player, and I think he'll be able to really dive in and have a really solid impact once that physical side is able to show.
I know you wrote about, Stevens could lose some time if A.Z. Thomas is the real deal, but what if Stevens goes to safety and then all of a sudden their 2 safeties are Stevens and Sisco and Tony Adams is kind of like the hybrid guy there?
It certainly can happen. The one reason why I think it may not, and I was talking to Brian Costello about this a couple weeks ago, you paid Brandon Stevens, what was it, $13 million to be the number 2 corner. I mean, $13 million for a cornerback, it's pretty good money for a starter. Is that for a safety? That seems more of like a bit of an overpay for a guy that hasn't played the position since his rookie year. So I think as of right now, I think they want to keep Stevens at corner and sort of just roll with him and let A.Z. Thomas develop in that way before they even think about moving him to a different position.
Nick's got a hard out in 2 minutes, so last chance to get your questions answered. Jets Worldwide wants to know, Nick, do you think we sign a veteran wide receiver?
Not right now. Maybe if an injury happens, that's certainly a possibility. But as things stand right now, it seems the Jets are far higher on their receiver room than a lot of fans and analysts are. They like the veterans they have, like Tyler Johnson, like Alan Lazard. They've got a true number 1 in Garrett Wilson. And they've got a lot of young players like Malachi Corley and Arian Smith to develop along those lines. So I think the Jets are a lot higher on this group than most people are.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Nate writes in, Dylan T watching Faria as a guest has got to be how Tom Brady feels watching Nate Peterman try to play quarterback. I only read that comment because there was a comment a minute after from Rick saying best show of the week is when Nick is on. So it just shows you can't make everyone happy, Nick.
It's perfectly fine.
Let's see. Matt from L5. What's up, Matt Siegel? Nixon 6. Amen. Has Stevens been lined up with corners or safeties?
It's been lined up in the natural position so far.
Matt wants your thoughts on the long snapper competition. Is there a long snapper competition, or is it Thomas Hennessy's job again?
Again, it's one of those things. I didn't really see much of the punting side, so I didn't really see that long snapper part. I think I would assume it's going to be Hennessy, but we shall see later on.
If you want to differentiate yourself on the Jets beat, be the guy that tracks the long snapper competition, if there even is one this summer.
Listen, all I'll say is Ender Carlson looked really good kicking. That's all I'll say. That's what I saw moving forward.
Love it. Nick, thanks for hopping on as always, man. Appreciate you.
Of course. Thanks, man. Talk to you.
Nick Faria, weekly spot on the show. Phone lines open, comments, questions, super chats. Guys, check out the podcast for the show. Spread the word. We're available in audio form. Tell people who love podcasts, hey, just listen to the show, and then you're going to want to come over to YouTube anyway. That's what happened to Thunder Lips. That's what happened to a bunch of some of our newer listeners in this community. Apple or Spotify. So if you ever can't watch the YouTube show live, there's another way to check it out. Super chat from I Believe in Freedom. Faria is always criticizing Fields. He never criticized Wilson that way. It's Faria, not Fario, by the way. Did you play quarterback? Do you understand how difficult the PO? I think Nick is pretty positive about Fields. He has the Jets going 9-8. I Believe in Freedom. So I don't think this is a fair criticism. Unless you mean like Florio. I don't know what Mike Florio was said about Fields. That's the only other thing I can think of. But Nick is usually pretty positive. Like, people think he's too positive. Like, Fireman Ed actually texted me last week. It was like that guy is so positive. I can't believe it. So, yeah, I don't know. I disagree with this. But thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the show. Hit the like button if you haven't. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Let's see. Rick Kent goes, Salo wanted to be liked by players, which is death to the coach. I think it was a big problem. I think he was too nice. I think that was definitely part of it. All right, let's get to some calls, shall we? Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. It is open. It is the pinned link in the live comments. You click it, you sign in, boom, you come on the air with us.
If you want to buy the #1 umbrella in the universe, go to gusbuster.com and make sure you use promo code Jake25 for a discount at checkout.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul starts us off today. What's up, Paul?
What's up, brother? Sorry, caught me eating. I got one. Is Nick tint blind or full color blind, or you don't know?
I don't know. That's a good question.
There's a big difference. So tint blind, you'll actually look at like some colors, like a light blue, and it'll actually look pink, or vice versa. Full color blind, you only see black or white. So it kind of sounds like he's tint blind more than anything.
A little tint action, sure.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so I just got one beef pretty bad with Garrett Wilson. Want to see if you agree. I think there's something wrong with the guy. I mean, he wants to be a lifetime Jet. And what's your thoughts? I mean, he's got to have something wrong with him, you know? Like,
yeah. Well, that's why they got to get the deal done, right?
Yeah, behind closed doors, he's got to have something wrong with him. But, yeah, no, you know, really hoping they do the right thing by that kid. I like him a lot. What's not to like? You know, he wants to win, plays hard, practices hard, has talent, and has done nothing but got the raw end of the stick from the Jets so far. So hopefully we can get something rolling this year with that kid, because he does deserve to see the ball more. And I'm tired of the excuses. I'm sure he's open way more, and I'm going to like him a lot better in the slot. I think they need to put him in the slot more. What's your thoughts?
I would like to see him used all over. I don't think they've ever had the best route tree for Garrett, and he still put up numbers because he's so talented and just a damn good player. But I'm really hopeful that Tanner Engstrand is the real deal as a play caller, and guys will be schemed open and they can take advantage of what Garrett could do. I'd like to see Garrett be used on more deep posts. I feel like we haven't seen that in a couple of years.
Yeah, you and me both. You know, if there's anything exciting about this year, it's another technical rebuild, but yet you do get the excitement to see like what we're gonna do offensively, and like it's really gonna show this year if how much coaching has to do with it, possibly, right? Because if these guys really succeed and we actually have an offense and everything like that, then it really shows how poor we had it prior. And let's be honest, we really didn't have anybody as an offensive coordinator. So we got to really pray Engstrand does good. And just hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. And let's go Knicks. Talk soon, boys.
Hey, Paul, before you go, I just want you to read a comment here from Ralphie, who writes in, I like big tints and I can't deny.
I love it.
Paul, you're the man. Beast Breaker with a super chat here. A rare super chat. Beast dropping big money. $2. June 12th is Little Joey's birthday. We will celebrate Little Joey on our show that day. There's no doubt.
Shut up!
Can't wait. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. For those of you just tuning in, we're doing a raffle at the end of this show. Daily raffle. Anthony Beck signed jersey, Jet first round pick, part of that 2000 draft class, 25-year anniversary of that class. And obviously the Jets' current color analyst on radio with Bob Lashusen on the play-by-play. And he's also the head coach of one of the UFL teams too, by the way. I don't know which one, but he is. And his son was the quarterback at Iowa State, might still be. So Anthony Beck jersey at the end of the show. If you gift, you're in for the raffle at the end of the show. And for our top prizes next week, Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, Joe Namath jersey, CJ Mosley jersey. So check that out if you're interested. More of your calls right now, shall we? On the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. It is one of our favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, sing along.
What's going on, Jake?
Mr. Clifton, how are you?
Memorial Day weekend. Let's go. Let's go, Knicks.
The weather could not be any better for Memorial Day weekend.
Well, it's typical. It's pretty typical for Memorial Day weekend. You know what they say about Nick Faria? All cookies are black and white cookies to Nick Faria.
It's actually a great point.
So, I wanted to ask him before he left. He's been pretty glowing about Arian Smith and the OTAs and the rookie minicamp and stuff. I wanted to ask him if there was any truth to the rumor that when he showed up at the facility after the draft, that he actually dropped the playbook when it was handed to him.
God.
I got
that first
jokes
drop
all day.
he has. No, but I'm telling you, it's a real thing because the first tweet over the summer of a training camp practice said is not open to the fans, or even is open to the fans, and Arian Smith has this brutal drop. How do you think this fan base is going to overreact?
It's going to go bad, man. I was looking back today at what we actually gave up to get Rodgers. It was, the pick swap in 2023 in the first round, and there was a mid second rounder and a sixth rounder, I think, in that year. Maybe some future considerations, whatever, that were a little bit further down the line. But if you look at how that actually panned out so far for the Packers, it hasn't. They took Van Ness 2 picks ahead of McDonald. McDonald's been vastly better. They took Musgrave in the second round, 1 pick before we took Joe Tippmann. And I think the player that they took in the 6th round, if I'm not mistaken, was, wait for it, Anders Carlson, who's now on the Jets in the kicking competition. So as much as at the time I thought we overpaid for Rodgers because I didn't think there was much of a market for him, and I thought they were kind of milking us for, stuff like the pick swap. I thought that he was probably worth a couple of day 2 picks and not having a conditional one enter the conversation. The Jets kind of buckled because they wanted to get him in camp and get him, ingratiated to all the players and familiar with the system and so on. But it really hasn't cost us at the end of the day. It was a worthwhile gamble when you take a look back at it on the surface right now.
Totally. And I felt that way at the time too, because what was their alternatives, right? Derek Carr, by the way, is now retired. That was the runner-up. Jimmy Garoppolo was out there. There wasn't a viable alternative. I mean, it would have been more if he didn't get hurt in year 1, right? Because he would have played the 65% and would have cost the Jets their first, but we all would have been okay with that, obviously. But I mean, it didn't work, but they're not hamstrung by it. Even the salary cap stuff, because he took the pay cut when he did, and they're spreading it out over 2 years, and cap goes up every year. Ultimately, it failed, but there's really no long-term ramification of it as far as how it's going to impact the present-day Jets going forward.
right? I mean, if you look at Lucas Van Ness, I mean, they're talking about on the Packers blog about running him out if he of town if he doesn't produce this year. And Luke Musgrave's been hurt a whole bunch, and I think he's averaged 20.5 catches per season and under 200 yards. So that's a similar situation with him. You know, now I'm just content to see if we can have develop our own players, develop our own quarterback, and hopefully Fields is the guy. And if he's not, we'll go get back into the draft next year and see if Glenn and Muji can prove their worth. I appreciate your time. Enjoy the weekend, man.
Kyle, appreciate you. Great call as always. The debate next offseason. If this team is going to go into the draft and take a quarterback, depending on where they're picking and how Fields looks. I mean, if you thought the Rodgers debate was intense, should they keep Rodgers and move on from Rodgers? An entire offseason centered around which quarterback the Jets should draft in the first round? I could already see the rumbles from here on this channel. Mr. Beasley's lawyer checks in. I love the love triangle between my client, Little Joey, and Beast will be reviled soon. I think you mean revealed, Beasley's lawyer. Monday, when I do a show on Memorial Day, Bobby Beasley and his attorney apparently will be calling in. We'll find out. Now, Beast has already said multiple times he will not be showing up on Monday. Writing in the private chat at 10:38 Eastern today, I will not be here Monday. I will be with my family. If Bobby Beasley wants to come here and make an ass out of himself, so be it, because I've had enough of this nonsense. This guy has been harassing me for 3 years, and it's going to end one way or the other, and I will enjoy time and think about my family because it's more important. My guinea pig is my custody. To the assholes on here who make fun of little Joey, you're not welcome to his birthday party. You can go F yourself because my little boy is special. I'm sick of the BS, and I'm fed up with dirty comments. Ladies and gentlemen, official commentary from the Beast himself. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Another reminder that if you're a Patreon user or you're not a Patreon user, if you join for the year, you do get 10 raffle entries, your name added to the intro, access to our Discord. I'm working on our Tampa rundown. We already got a plan for Saturday night, a party the night before the game for Jets Bucks in week 3, tailgate the morning of, and working on the hotel as we speak. So for those of you who want a group rate and want to stay in the same place, we'll present that as an option as well. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. It's just $5 a month. We'd love to get some new Patreon people on there. Join the Discord, all that. Rick Kent writes in that Beast is afraid, a coward. Three Siblings Jay says Beast faker. Marcelo says, who is Bobby Beasley? I've been away for a while. Bobby Beasley is Beast's arch nemesis, who claims that every story Beast has shared on this show is actually Bobby Beasley's life. That Beast is basically impersonating the life of Beasley. And that nothing Beast says is actually his own. It's Bobby Beasley's. That, I think, is the gist of it. DNAT says, I'm preparing for my weekend. I'm hosting, but wearing my Knicks cap. Go New York, go New York, go. I will be in the Garden tonight, DNAT, and the Knicks better win. It's a must-win. As close to a must-win as you can have in a game 2 where you're down 0-1 at home. Like, there's no other way around it. Got to win. I think the Knicks will win, but it's not going to be easy. It's never easy. Should have been easy on Monday. We know how that went. Or Wednesday, I mean. Got to win tonight. Got to win tonight. There's no other way around it. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Keep sending those in if you want in on the raffle. For the first time today, let's say hello right now to a man who will not be showing up to the show he claims on Monday. It's time to check in with the Beast.
Holy crap, here comes Beast Breaker 666.
Why don't you get your fat ass on a treadmill and go the distance with me?
Is that Bobby Midnight?
I'm not into politics, and I already told you that.
I may be big, but I'm gonna be bad enough to put you out.
Beast Breaker always has some salient points.
Hello, Beast.
Good morning. I'm gonna start denying people this certain people that are gonna get the denial case.
Hey, Beast, can you put some lights on? We can't see you.
Yeah, well, it's nice. It's a beautiful day, and I just got my peppers sent to my home this morning. 3 nice, beautiful peppers: green peppers, red peppers, and orange peppers.
What are you doing
Monday,
with peppers?
I will be with my family, and yesterday I found out my sister-in-law has a thing right here on her neck. So it's not good. Something's not right. And I think she might be coming down with something called some diabetes something. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty bad right now. And
well, send your best to your sister-in-law.
My nephew Matthew, which is Julie's son. I already got a graduation thing here somewhere. It's gonna be on June 5th. I'm gonna be going to, but we'll see what happens on that one because we don't know what the time slot's going to be for that one. And
we're ready for
Monday,
June 12th.
I'm going to be busy with my family. June 12th is not going to be a miss. No way. My little boy's going to get the best birthday party he's ever had in his life.
What are you
I've
planning?
been taking care of that boy for years, for close to a year now. I bought him. What was it? Bought him the 12th of August. He was a little boy when I bought him, and you know what? I'm proud to take good care of him. And you know what? To all the little crybabies who insult little Joey, you're not welcome to this party. No, you're not welcome. You'll be getting your denied paper very shortly. So don't be surprised. That's the way it's gonna go, and that's the bottom line. You don't like it? Tough.
Amen.
Deal with it. You know what I mean by
Castro
deal with
says
it.
that. Did you invite Peter Castro to the party? He goes, "I'm coming to Joey's party. Thank you, Beast."
Well, since you made little insults, you get the word rejected. You know what I mean by rejected, son? Since you want to make fun of him, rejected. Sorry. Sorry.
Pat says, "Can
No
you
deal,
show us
no
little
chance."
Joey so we know he's real?"
That's right, Jet. Well, you'll get it. You'll have to just wait right now because I took him out at 6 this morning, gave him his exercise, his rub, let him run the stairs, ran on the bed.
Where is he?
Yeah, gave him his breakfast. Hey, the kid gets treated like a king in his castle.
Where is he? Show us little Joey.
Let me go get the little boy. Come here.
Here we go.
Boy.
Oh, almost got full crackage again.
Come here, big boy.
The old Beast Breaker coin slip.
For a minute, come on. Don't be afraid.
Here we go, folks.
Come on, big boy.
This is why we tune into a Jet show on May 23rd.
Come here for a minute. Here we go.
Let's go, Knicks.
It's okay, big boy. It's okay. It's okay.
There he is.
It's
The
okay,
almost birthday boy.
Mm-hmm. At the big one. He's gonna be a teenager. That means when he hits 1, he becomes a teenager.
Wait, guinea pigs age by 13 years? Compared to humans?
They go from 4 to 8. When they hit 4, they start being a senior. And then when they start get to be 6, they're an extra senior. And then when they make it to 8, they're an older senior. I've known that for a long time.
Rick Kent claims that little Joey's a stuffed animal.
Inappropriate comment. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Nate says little Joey will have guinea pig diabetes by his 2nd birthday. So that can't be true.
Nate, you just basically canceled out your birthday card. See you later, alligator. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Ralphie wants to know at what age will little Joey escape that place?
Never. It's called I have custody. I have papers on him, and you can take that to the bank because he's bought and paid for, and he ain't going anywhere. I'm sorry.
Pat says he's getting hungry by looking at little Joey.
Don't worry. Don't worry. He knows what feeding time's gonna be like. His next feeding's gonna be in about a few more minutes from now. He knows.
Rick Kent wants to know if he could come to little Joey's birthday party.
Well, if you shape up, I'll tell you what. We'll make you an agreement. No more insults towards my little boy, and you'll get a deal. You'll get the deal.
I think that's a fair deal, Rick. No more insults, and you'll be invited to the party of champions.
That's right. And as a matter of fact, this little guy's telling me I know what he wants. What do you want? You ready to go eat? All right. He's ready to go eat. I have to
I
go.
feel like he eats a lot.
Hey. When kids like this are hungry, they know what time it is. They're not stupid. Plus, when I bought him, it was Jets preseason. He watched the first 3 Jets games with me. All 3 Jet games, including the Jets-Giants series, which was a nice. You know what that meant? You know what that is, right? We call that bitch slapping.
Oh.
We call that bitch slapping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's called the bitch slap.
I see.
You might look it up on watch a little. Oh, Mr. Castro, here's the deal. Here's the deal, son. No more your cracked insults, and you'll get a deal. But continue, and you know what comes next. See you later, alligator.
Bino writes in, I want to have a co-birthday party for my pet rock, Skip,
Mr.
and
Bino,
little Joey.
Mr. Bino, you know what? You're gonna get a deal. You'll get the deal.
Really?
You'll get a fair shake, a fair deal. Like they say in The Sopranos, you just got yourself a deal, kid. Just watch your P's and Q's. And you know what P's and Q's
So Bino
are.
could bring his pet rock to little Joey's birthday party?
Sure, why not? Sure, why not? I don't care.
Okay.
It's not gonna bother me as long as we keep everything appropriate and appropriate attire and appropriate cleanliness.
Yes.
That's the way it's got to be. And hey, this little guy is not. This guy is special too. He watched. You know what? He watched every single New York Jet game last year. He didn't like Rodgers.
He probably didn't like anyone on the team if that was his only year watching the Jets. What a nightmare.
Well, don't worry. He knows what time it is, and I know what time it is. Are you ready to go eat? Okay, all right. Let's get you onto my shoulder.
Hey, what's the dress code for the party?
What?
What's the dress code for the party?
Hey, wear whatever, but don't come acting like some kind of freak show weirdo. Please take that down. That's a little inappropriate gesture, please.
Hey, there's a guy on the line right now that wants to say hi to you and little Joey.
Go ahead.
You ready?
I'm waiting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now to a man who needs no introduction, but we will play this instead anyway.
Weed, this is for you. Oh, shit.
A nice head first into the rock. Very spontaneous. Thank you. And remember when you're on the bike, just yell out the words, "Oh shit!" very.
Hey, Beast.
Que pasa, amigo? Thank you. And remember when you're on the bike, just yell out the words, "Oh shit!" Back end. I can hear your back end. Que pasa, amigo? You got a back end going.
Beast, when's the party?
June 12th.
Where?
Hey, right here online. Where you guys get to see it, and he's gonna get a nice birthday present coming because I'm planning to get this little boy a couple of things he wants. New bridges. He's gonna get new toys, and he gets everything he wants. And he's a Jets fan. I bought this little guy at $65, and he had his first Jets season. We're ready for another Jets season, and you know what? I like your point with the new quarterback we got. We're gonna take it this year. You can bet your ass we will be 13-4. You can take it to the bank and put that in writing.
Really?
Put it in writing. We're not backing down. I
Really?
got a lot of support there in Glenn. He's a Parcells guy. You know why? He won't take bullshit lightly. It's called you either show up to work, but if you don't want to show up, you're not gonna get this. You know what this looks like? A check. It's called you got to work for this.
You get the fuck out.
You know what I mean? But you got to work for it. Hey, I say it all the time. You want this? You want to earn something like this? You got to work for it. Which means you got to get off your ass, get to work, come here, show some respect to your peers, work with your coaches, and don't give us any trouble. If you don't want to be here, it's fine. But here's the deal: you can take your 3%, but we're taking the other 97%. We're going to put that in cap space.
All right. How old is little Joey?
So far, he's a baby. So he's about to be 1 soon.
He's about to be 1. How long have you had him?
Almost a year. This is going to be close to 10 months.
10 months. Now, Beast, you used to be a wrestler?
Announcer. I've done that for 8 years. I worked with 3 companies, and headache, man. After years of putting up with dumb people who didn't want to listen, that's why I said, you know what? Take this shit, shove it somewhere else. I don't need all the extra headaches because, number one, I don't need a heart attack and winding up in a hospital bed somewhere.
What's up with this guy Beasley?
Oh, hold on. Let me put him away so I can we'll get an understanding here. Okay, hold on 1 second here. There you go.
Beast, you got to get rid of that tail in the back of your head.
None. Hey, I keep this as a respect for the Japanese. But Mr. Castro, this guy is no more than suffering from the delusions of grandeur, has no clue who he is. He's stuck in an identity crisis. He has no clue where he came from. And I already sent footage to WGN News here in Chicago. The video of him lying through his teeth, already sent to WGN. Also to my former mentor, Miss Deanna Myron, who is dating a Chicago police officer. See, when you lie on national TV, do you know what that does to someone's reputation? You know what this looks like, right?
I think there's more than meets the eye between you two guys. Why
has
he
been lying through his teeth for years?
Why is he lying? Why is he lying about you?
He wanted to try and have you know what with my mother. I was like, "Excuse me, son. I don't think you want to go there." And then he wanted to claim he wanted to have you know what with my daughter who was married. You don't do that there. That's a felony right there. And then he tried to claim he was dating Britt Baker. That never happened. Never happened. I pulled all his information up, and unfortunately, all his scams, all he is a scam artist. See, they're 2 different kind of people like him. They're grifters, they're liars, and then if you want to add more, then you can add cheapskates and Jezebels or hookers or losers. Facts are facts. I just don't like this guy. This guy ain't no Asmaniac. And I've said hundreds of times, this guy is nothing more than a Packer spy and a wannabe. So he could take his cheap 25-cent Cheeto-looking ass with his ugly face looking like a porcupine, which Bobby Midnight is right. He does look like a porcupine with an ugly face, and go stuff his face down in a bucket of Cheetos. Shut up!
We learned a lot there, Peter.
Yeah, we did. Jake, how are you?
I'm good, Peter. I'm glad the Joe Namath helmet arrived. Now, the case being broken, did the replacement case arrive?
Yes, it did. But I'm not home. And the helmet doesn't even fit half my head. How am I going to ride my bike with that thing?
I don't know. You got to find a way to at least attempt to put it on, though. We need that image.
Okay. When I go.
Oh, no. Where'd Peter go? No. There he is.
Jake, I think that we're going to have a good year this year.
I hope you're right.
It's going to be 11-6. It's going to take us. Yeah, it's going to take us a couple of games to get rolling. But once we start rolling, we're going to be deadly. We got the quarterback. You don't have to worry about next year's draft. I'm telling you, we got the quarterback. He's ready. Tomlin screwed up last year. Pulled him out. Should have never done it. Oh, and when he should have put him back in, he never did. That's why he didn't want to go back there.
Well, I definitely think the benching had a big part in him not being back for sure. But I don't know. Like, I don't know where this optimism comes from. Like, Fields has been a bleh quarterback so far. And, like, we have no idea what the coaching staff is around him. They're like 11 wins. They haven't won more than 7 in 10 years.
Well, he was my pick in that draft, not Zach Wilson. So I had followed his college career. I saw what he did in Chicago. He was terrible, but he had the same problem Zach Wilson had. He had no coaching at all, none. And you know what? Last year he started coming around. In the beginning of the year, he started looking a lot better, and as he was getting better and better, he got yanked. And I think we're going to benefit from the fruits of Mr. Tomlin's mistake.
Look, I love how optimistic you are, and you were right about Salah and everything. So I hope you're right about this.
I know I'm right. I'm positive. I'm not even half sure. I'm full sure. You're in for a shock.
I can't wait. Like, you have no idea how happy this would make me if you're right. 11 wins.
Yeah, I would say it's going to be 11 wins. We're going to come on at the end, probably run off 3 or 4 in a row at the end. But we're going to be a good football team, a lot better. They were not coached at all.
I agree.
I mean, we had no coaching at all. None. Zero.
Alan says 11 wins, maybe if we played 34 games.
Alan could go fry ice.
Amen.
I don't care what Alan has to say. He was probably happy the Knicks lost too.
Yeah, he hates the Knicks.
That game killed me, Jake. It sent me, I couldn't sleep for 2 days. I never seen such stupidity in my life. They lost
awful.
that game on sheer stupidity.
And bad luck. But it took Nesmith to turn into, prime Klay Thompson for the last 6 minutes of that game. Like, he hit 8 threes. It's insane.
How about with 2:41 left, you're up by 14. How about you use the clock?
Yep.
All they had to do was use the clock, and they would have won the game. They're running down the court and shooting with 19 seconds on the clock. The coaching, I mean, come on.
Terrible.
I was screaming. You could have won that game by accident.
I know. Just think about everything that had to happen, though, for them to lose, too. Like, including Carlisle having both challenges that they needed to win both of them. Otherwise, it's over right there. It was so bad. I think they'll win tonight, but they better. That's all I'm going to say. They better.
And I got news for you. Brunson has got to relax a little bit. He's dribbling down the court, banging into whoever's guarding him, banging, banging, bang. He wore himself out. He was out of gas. He had no gas at the end of that game.
He also's got to stay out of foul trouble. Like, he can't pick up dumb fouls. That can't happen.
No, he doesn't really play defense either. I don't know how he gets so many fouls, but
because he's not a good defender. Because so he's reaching. They're hunting him on defense. So that's a problem. He's got to stay. He's got to play under control and not put the team in that spot. It's crazy that he goes on the bench and they go on a 10-0 run. He finally comes back in. He drills a 3 right away. They're up 14. We're like, all right, this game's over. Like, the fact that they still blew it after that, and they didn't just win the Brunson minutes. They dominated that and still lost. It's like, not even 24 hours. I guess it will be 44 hours later by the time they tip off tonight. Like, it's still just shocking.
It reminded me of the Atlanta New England Super Bowl when they were winning 28-3 at halftime.
Yep.
And that stupid coach, who was that, Quinn, at the time?
Dan Quinn. Yep.
Yeah, he just kept throwing the ball. All he had to do was run the ball. He could have ran out the clock and won the Super Bowl. I mean, I've never seen such stupidity in my life. I was going nuts the other night. I'm talking to my son. I'm saying, why aren't they using the clock? They're running down the court and shooting, flinging up threes all over the place. They made it easy for them.
It's true. Now,
you got to keep your foot on the gas.
Comment here. I agree with you. Comment here from Alan. I want you to weigh in on. He says, Peter, you are a moron. You've been a moron for a long time. Too much sun in that fragile brain of yours. Go Pacers.
It's coming from a low-life loser. Alan's just a loser. He can't help himself. He bullshits everybody in the chat. He knows this. He knows shit. He's worse than Beast Breaker. All right? He's taking Beast Breaker's place. And as far as being smart, he's not that bright. He wouldn't be. He had half a brain.
I agree. Salient points, Peter.
Thank you.
Well, okay, you have a great day, all right? Let's go next. Let's be positive.
Go.
You're positive about the Jets. Be positive about a Nick win tonight.
Oh, one thing, Jake. Alan, go fuck yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new drop has just been shared.
Oh, shit.
Let's go. Peter Castro, the winner of this program, in my mind. Incredible. Oh, that was good. Love that. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Hit the like button. If you're just tuning in late, at the end of this show, which is coming soon, I'm giving away a signed Anthony Beck jersey. So if you want in, $10 super chat, 2 tickets. $20 super chat, 5 tickets. $50 super chat, 10 tickets. $100 super chat like JYB, 20 tickets. Plus, if you gift the membership, however many you gift is how many you get. And you're entered in our other raffle for next week. CJ Mosley jersey, Joe Namath jersey, and our top prize, Walt Clyde Frazier jersey. So gift away if you are interested. More of your calls on our program. Ladies and gentlemen, PBM is up next. Hello, Mike. Mike. Thank you for the time, Mike. We will work on getting Mike back. In the meantime, a lot of talk about Bobby Beasley and Beast Breaker, and I recognize that some of you maybe have been away from the show for a little bit. Some of you maybe are a new viewer. The history of Beast versus Beasley. For those who missed it, this was the first time Bobby Beasley showed up on this very program. On the line right now is a guy who is claiming to be Bobby Beasley, Beast Breaker's arch nemesis. Mr. Beasley, is this you?
We went to high school. He was having some degree of difficulty graduating, and they had me there as a mentor for him. When I was mentoring him, he discovered that I was training to become a professional wrestler. I come from a professional wrestling family. He would take all these stories about Cary High School, being prom king, and this and that. That's all stuff that comes from my life. 100% of what he comes up with, he's taking that from my life.
Is that Beasley?
That is. That's a son of a bitch I want.
What is the backstory? Why he doesn't like you?
Jealousy is what I would imagine.
He doesn't have a daughter?
Yeah, as far as I know, no daughter.
He's a son of a bitch.
Calm down. Is he a Jets fan? You can't say he's not a Jets fan.
I would imagine he's a Chicago Bears fan.
But he has actual Jets gear.
I think he probably bought that before he got on your show, man.
There once was a woman who called in named Julie that was his sister-in-law. Is she not real?
No. I don't think anyone's out there claiming Beast Breaker 666 is a relative.
We'll get to the bottom of this beast, all right?
This is it, Beasley.
But
you are not Asmaniacs. You're not real New York Jet. You're a lion sack of dog crap, just like your life is. And I'm going to put you in submission with this belt.
We have two sides to the story now. And I'm not saying you're not telling the truth or anything like that. It's our first experience with you, Mr. Beasley, here, so I'm just trying to get some more background information on the whole thing.
I worked my ass off to come on here. I put blood and sweat and tears and agony and grief and pain.
Gator says, what actual evidence do you have for your claims?
Just messages from friends.
Interesting. All right, let's check in with Beast right now.
There are layers to this, man. Jason, it's good to see you, my friend.
Calm down, Beast.
Easy, pal.
Say I can't take
risk come on.
I've heard some hot bullshit from a clown like that. That guy is a disgrace to the Asmaniacs. I've been on this show more times. I've bled, fight, kick, scratch, and did more than you. And I got more balls than you.
Well, I don't know what his obsession is with me, to be honest, man.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about you, but Beast does not like you, obviously. Just that you're his arch nemesis. He's screaming and yelling that you're invading the show. You're in the chat. Huh? Did you meet him in high school? Was he your mentor, Beast? Let's start there.
No. He never went to Cary High School. Never did. He's not an Asmaniac. He's not a Jet fan. Hiding in his basement with his little pink panties on and a tutu on.
I went to Cary. I definitely mentored the man. I've got pictures to prove it, too, now that I'm looking through my Facebook right now.
We want to see some photos of you two together.
I certainly have those.
Why the fuck are you even doing this?
Because I've got a big heart, sir.
Bobby Beasley, I'm sorry to tell you, you guys didn't go to the same high school. You guys met at some fruity wrestling event, and now you're just messing with the guy. You are just trying to ruin Beast Breaker's big moment. I don't care what you say. Half the stuff Beast Breaker tells us, we know is bullshit. Who cares? He's our guy. You coming on this show, you're doing nothing for him. If you cared about him, you wouldn't come on here dogging him and making him act like his whole act is a whole
what have I said? What have I said that has dogged him? Did I meet him at a wrestling? No, I met him in school. What the hell are you talking about?
Bullshit. You did not meet him in school. Listen, bro, if you cared about Beast, there's no reason you would have came on the
Hey, don't
show.
bro me, man, all right? Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer. Why?
Fantastic. No, I was just curious.
You like to pose for little boys in gay porn magazines.
How do you, I don't even know what the hell that is, but somehow you do.
Bobby Beasley, you need to show us a lot more proof. I still don't understand if you cared about Beast for a second. You wouldn't.
There's an episode 2, man. I can guarantee it.
Apparently, that episode 2 could be on Monday. We will see. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple super chats. Kyle Clifton in our raffle for 2. He writes in, I've gotten through a lot of heartbreak and loss in my life. Had friends die young, close family pass, devastation from Sandy, but not making the cut for a guinea pig's B-Day party would be the worst, in my opinion. Hey, Beast, is Kyle Clifton invited to the party on June 12th for
hey, he's already an automatic in. Automatic. Done
Hell,
deal.
Yeah,
Hey.
let's go. Love it. Thank you very much, Beast. Super chat from Rasta Dread. Put me in the raffle. Done. You're in for 2. TH3, so I'm going to give 5 memberships for the people right here, right now.
Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
If you hear your name, you're a channel member. BC, Derek Q, Jet Jarrow, Ricky NY, Boring, Sober Guy, all receiving channel memberships. We have a new emoji. It's the Chef Kevin emoji that's officially been added. Jets Worldwide has gifted or has sent in a super chat for $10. Beck Jersey, I want it. Castro Tactic. Nothing better than Peter Castro during the Joe Namath full-size helmet raffle, writing seconds before he won it, I want it. And then boom, his name was called. Incredible. Speaking of Chef Kevin, he is on the line and he's next. What's up, Kev?
Jake, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, man. I'm feeling a lot better than the other day, after that miserable loss. We were on the highest of highs, man, and then just seeing my smile, my laughter, everything just start to dwindle down. It was just like, pretty bad, but I still feel good, man. I'm still standing firm on all my Knicks points, just knowing about the firepower that we do have. Obviously, Tibbs needs to make adjustments, foul shots. Like, I could just reiterate everything everybody's been saying. Nobody really wants to hear that. They got to put it, foot pedal to the metal tonight, man. Make sure that we don't give up any leads. We've been down before. I still feel good about our chances. Obviously, if we lose tonight, then it makes our chances a lot more difficult. But, take one here, see if we could squeak one on the road or whatever, and then we're back in this ball game, man. I ain't really too concerned about that. But
win tonight, flush what happened the other day, and you just go from there, man. This team's been resilient all year. Now, this is the first time they've trailed in a playoff series during this run, but I think they're built for it, and they'll play well tonight and get it done.
I'm with you, man. Just knowing about Bridges, with his experience in the playoffs, Brunson as well. Like Brunson, he was carrying the Mavericks when Luka was out, before he was with us, so he has that experience, man. Also playing with us last year, like I still feel good, man. Towns has been there as well, OG as well. Like our front, man. As long as they just stay focused, man, and hearing Josh Hart about how they just kind of was letting up a little bit, like just this is a different time, man. Like y'all didn't let up when we were down 20 to the Celtics back-to-back games, man. Like y'all fought hard, man. And you gotta still have that same intensity when you're in these games, and just knowing that the eye on the prize, man. Don't give it up like that, man. It was just so easy, and now it almost seems like we let one go, like just at the last minute. It was just, it was literally right there. But it's all good, man. I still got faith in this team, man. Still got faith in the coach, knowing that he's going to keep this rotation tight. That he's just not going to put in a whole bunch of whatever's just to kind of see a spark or something like that. He's really going to make some sound decisions and whatnot. It's just, at the end of the game, when somebody's hot, man, you really got to do your best to plan and scheme up on that. Halliburton hit a couple of crazy ones as well, but just lock in, man. I still feel good about it. The energy is still going to be electric, man, regardless of what happened, man. Like the energy is still going to be there from the tip off. We just got to make sure that we're playing all 4 quarters, man. That's it.
Amen. Amen.
But hey, man, thank you. Thanks to everyone involved with that Chef Kevin emoji, man. Like this whole week has been crazy for me, so I haven't really been able to be in the chat or call in. just with a lot going on, personal life and work and whatnot. We had some things going on at the job. Good stuff. Camera crews in for a couple of days doing some filming stuff with the kitchen and with the front of the house. So a lot of good stuff, man. Personal life is good too. It's just been a little bit busy, but man, just seeing that stuff, man. The Chef Kevin emoji, dude, that's incredible, man. It's a great recognition. I appreciate you, Jake, and everybody involved getting that going, man. The community has been holding it down, showing me love, man. It's highly appreciated, man. Definitely thank you to everybody involved, man. Um, before I get into my Jet stuff, man, just we're it's cool. It's so cool, man, knowing like that the relationship that me and you have, that you are a Knicks fan, Jets fan, and Yankees too. Like the Yankees, man, like they're still we're still going like with what we're doing. We squeaked one out yesterday. Just another, it was a 1-0 game, man. Kept it tight. Pitching was there. Defense was there.
Rodon's been great this year. He's been awesome. Best year
Yes.
so far, by far, since he's been a Yankee.
Agreed, man. He started like when he first got here, man. It wasn't all that great, but I mean, last year
He was awful. He got better. He got better
Come on,
last
man.
year, and then this year he's truly. I think not every guy can handle New York right away. I think he was a guy that needed a year or two to kind of get comfortable. Now you could see like he's a different guy.
Agreed. And last year we went took my family, my son went to his first Yankee game last year, and we saw Rodon pitch against the White Sox, and we won. It was a really good game, and he had great control and all that. But now this year, like we're still in first place for like 5 or 6 games, man, and we're doing this without our ace, without Garrett Cole, without Stanton, man, without Chisholm. Like
Yep.
these guys, we're still not 100% healthy yet.
And
right
Williams
now.
blew 4 or 5 games at the beginning of the year. He's rolling right now, but
That's
like
right.
they lost. They should their record should be even better. They're
Agreed.
playing really good baseball right now. They are, and they've beaten some really good teams too. So I still think they're the best team in the American League. The AL is not that good, and
Mhm.
the Yankees I think are very, very good.
I'm with you, man. Just like to see the bats get a little bit more lively. And again Cabrera too. Like Cabrera's not there, and he's like a good glue piece. Once he gets on the bases, he creates, makes things happen. He has a good mitt. He's versatile. Play the outfield, play the infield. So I mean, just making sure that we're clicking right now. Even Dominguez, like I wasn't really too high on him with his fielding. Fielding wasn't all that great in the beginning, and then I feel like once he had that 3 homer game, man, he just started finding his groove and everything. So I feel good where we're at, man. It's a great time, man. It's a great time. We just need those Knickerbockers, man, to pull it out for us. But to get into the Jet stuff, man, which we all love talking about, man. Like I'm feeling good, man, with the vibes. It's like almost feels like there's a little bit more control right now at the top, which is important. It feels like the fellas, the guy, like they're more locked in right now, and that's what we need moving into to training camp, man. Just a sense of just a little bit more focused rather than a little bit more relaxed. Like when we went to the training camps last year, like it was a really relaxed environment. They were doing really good when we were going against Washington, when we went against the Giants. Like the training camps, we were outperforming those two teams by a landslide. And then just when the regular season came, we saw what we saw. But right now, man, like knowing that we do have a lot of young talent, man, like if we could just mold them, make them a sponge, just absorb everything, man. I really feel like we can do well. I'm not jumping out the window saying, hey, we're gonna win 10 plus wins. I'm not at that level right now, but I do feel like we should and will have more wins than last year. If we don't have any more wins than last year, then sorry for being a sour grapes, but I feel like it was just a wasted year, man. Like with us not performing better than last year, knowing that we have better coaching this year, knowing that we have better players this year, for the most part, like we got to be able to produce, and knowing about the schedule that we have, like there's winnable games there, man. There's definitely winnable games, and that's important for us to be able to see improvement. If there's no improvement, if we're not getting the wins, then it's just going to hurt the fan base, man. And also with the players that we have, it's like extensions. Who really wants to stay if we're now still losing? If there's nothing really there, the fan base is all down. The fans that are coming out, you're not seeing more people fill up the stands. Right now, the tickets are high. You know how it was the last couple of years when the team starts losing, man. Those tickets, you could get into the game for $25, $30. Like, we don't want to see that this year. I don't want to pay that, man. I don't mind paying more money for a successful team. I mean, I think anybody would want to do that. Like, paying $30 to go see a team that has double-digit wins. Like, no, I mean double-digit losses. Like, come on, man, just or to see a good, successful team, man. Who wouldn't want to do that?
100%.
Um, I even though I missed all your live stuff, man, I did catch a couple. I saw with the jersey changes and all that. Like, for me, I thought that was strange about like Gibson
Oh,
going to three.
McDonald's. Yeah, Gibson and Corley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know Gary leads the charge with the being, Gibson's fan club and all that. I don't hate the dude, but it's still strange how you changing the jersey number 2, Gary?
I might have to. If he makes a team again, I'm with you. He's not that good, but he's like Bucky Dent. He's got a place in your lore. I'm not saying he's the greatest Jet receiver ever. He's not.
Shut up!
I'm not doing a Bucky Dent comparison who hit one of the biggest home runs in Yankee history in the heyday of a Yankee Red Sox rivalry to Xavier Gibson, who had a great moment in a Week 1 win.
That's it. And there's other backstory stuff with my relationship with Xavier Gibson, man. And I have to be fair. I have to critique and whatnot. Like, he didn't have the greatest season and all that, but I still don't understand why he went to 3. It's like that's like a kicker. Like, the only 3 that I remember, like, kind of being like, oh, okay, that's all right, was like Odell. Odell was 3, and that was like, all right, he made it work. But for Gibson, who I hope makes a team, because if he makes a team, that's means he's going to contribute in some kind of way. If he doesn't make the team, then what was that whole like switch about? It didn't really make any kind of sense. The cornerbacks normally in the 20s or so, free safeties in the 30s. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of used to that. I'm not going to be over here angry at the guys for switching, but I really don't understand why, that they wanted to do that, or if that was something from upstairs where they're like, hey, maybe you're not going to be on the team. So, we'll just get you out and maybe we'll fill in these 80 numbers for these other wide receivers that we have on the team. Corley, hopefully he can get things together. Aaron Smith as well. Like, we did draft Aaron Smith pretty early from what a lot of people said, almost like a reach in most people's eyes, including me. But if he could develop hands, man, and be a wide receiver that's dependable and doesn't have drops like Lazard, then it's all good. But the jersey number thing, I didn't really understand why they came out. I don't know if it was timing or maybe jersey sales are kind of slow right now. I wasn't really too sure why they did that.
I think you're just overthinking it. These guys change their numbers all the time. It is what it is. I think it's silly that Corley's has 3 career catches and has three different numbers now. And I don't even know if Xavier Gibson's going to be on the team, but like, whatever. I just think McDonald is weird. Like, he had a good number. 99 is an awesome pass rush number. He went to 9. That's my big thing.
That's got to be one of the questions. Like, why mess up something good, man? Like, you had a great season. Like, that was really his rookie season, man. Like, last year coming out, he didn't really do much year 1, understandably, because that line was tremendous. And then we dismantled it for whatever reason last year. But for McDonald, man, like, I'm with you, man. Like, why change something good? Maybe he's seeing something that we ain't seeing, and maybe that's just gonna give him some other kind of superpower to have an even better season. All right, like, I'm cool with that. But before I run, man, that the Bobby Beasley dude, man, like, I don't think I'll be able to call in on Monday if he got his lawyer, man. I don't want to get caught up in some mess. He's ringing low. I hope my name don't come up. I don't think I said anything about him. I know me and Beast, we were in a way better place. I don't know if I'm invited to the barbecue or the party or whatever, but I just want to stay clear out of Bobby Beast's way. I hope Beast is taking notes just in case he got to take some action, man. He's saying he put blood, sweat, and then tears out here. I mean, I've seen the tears, the sweat jumping on the bed. Like, I've seen him sweating, doing his Jalen Brunson stuff. Yo, come on, dude.
You've seen the ass?
All right, I missed your shows, man. I wasn't ready for that one.
It's a full moon out there, Chef Kev.
Yo,
we appreciate you.
I see it's a little cloudy out here. Full moon, that's awesome, dude.
You're the man, Chef Kev. Appreciate you.
Yo, have a go, man. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks. Amen. Great call there from Chef Kev. All right, last chance here for the raffle if you want in. TH3 Entertainment with an Asmaniac super chat. Time to put that BS game one behind us, break the 0-6 trend. It's actually 0-7 of losing a series when we lose game one at home. Knicks in 7, go New York, go New York, go. Amen. It's one game. How the Knicks respond tonight, though, will tell us if it was just more than one game or are we screwed. Chef Jet Fan says, I always want to ask, when you were talking about dumps with Gary, do you wipe front to back or back to front? This is an interesting question.
Shut up!
Gary, your thoughts?
Well, I never really thought about that. But I guess front to back. Yeah. I've never really given it any thought. Just thinking about it in my head, front to back. Is this like a debate? Is this like a whole thing? Did people
apparently Chef Jet Fan was very curious.
Okay. Does Chef Jeff Fan have any rivalry with Chef Kev?
Good question.
Is there any rivalry? Not necessarily beef, just a rivalry on who's the better chef. So the first thing, like, I understand that X is not the best receiver the Jets have ever had. I get it. But do you understand why I like him? He's a guy from Texas who's 5'6", who walked on to Stephen F. Austin, undrafted, goes to the Jets, and then scores the game-winning touchdown on a punt return against Buffalo on that memorable game. Is it like, why is it weird that I like him? Like, why is that strange?
I think buying the jersey is what people think is hilarious.
It's a random jersey. I'm just wondering, like, 8 years from now, when
he's not even wearing that number now. So not only do you have an obscure jersey, but you have an obscure jersey of a guy. You're honestly better off him not making the team. So then you don't have, he's not wearing a different number now.
You're right. The one thing with the 82 is he's got one highlight. He's got some lowlights, but his one highlight is he's wearing number 82. You know what I'm saying? So he's wearing that number.
Also, I think part of it too, let's be real. While obviously it was a great moment for him, and in real time, I was there that night. I celebrated that win. My excitement ended in 10 minutes. Like, a game of that magnitude should have been something I will never forget for the positive. That's one of the worst nights of my life. Forget just sport. I swear to God, Rodgers getting hurt is one of the worst nights of my entire life. I don't care if there's things more important than sports. That's how much the Jets mean to me. I make my living talking about this terrible team every day. That's one of the worst nights of my life. So I don't think about that night fondly, even though it was
short-lived
moment.
Like, if we would have had Justin Fields as the backup or Mike White, there would have at least been hope. Okay, Rodgers says he can be back by the end of the year. Like, maybe there's hope. But Wilson, there was no hope. You knew that this shit was going down. Like, it was good for 10 minutes, and then you sobered up real quick because we still had Zach Wilson. I remember it. I remember my neighbor that I watch every Longhorn game with in his garage. Right when Rodgers came out, I just went outside. I started walking with my son, and this is right after Rodgers got hurt. Walking in the front yard with my son. He goes, "Aren't you watching your Jets?" I'm like, "I need 10 minutes. I can't look at this right now." And then I went back in the house. You know, the first thing I saw was Wilson's interception. I was like, I can't do this. I can't watch this anymore. And then they came back and won. And it was short-lived, but for about 10 minutes, it felt great. But then you had to live with the reality that we're going with Zach Wilson again this year, and it's not going to be pretty. And it wasn't.
Yeah, season was awful.
I just needed to be caught up real quick. So, Bobby Beasley is coming on Monday.
Apparently.
Is that right? Am
Apparently,
I right?
Yeah. Do I think he'll call on Monday? I think it's possible. I think he could maybe just wait till the next time he sees Beast on the show and then time it then. I don't know. I don't know what his plans are.
Well, I would imagine if he's got a real lawyer. I'm not even a lawyer necessarily at the status of Bonesy, but just any lawyer. That lawyer's time is valuable. If he's going to call in with a lawyer, that
lawyer's lawyers work on Memorial Day, though. That's why I'm a bit skeptical.
Oh, that's right. Monday's Memorial Day. Interesting. Well, Bonesy's he's got quite a workload. He represents his clients 24/7. Bonesy's working on Memorial Day. He's that kind of lawyer. Okay. And what exactly did he lawyer up for? Like, what is he? Is it like defamation?
Yeah. Well, Beasley claims that Beast has stolen his identity.
Okay. This is Did you ever think this is what your show was going to be about when you started a Jets podcast?
Never could have imagined.
Beast, do you understand the kind of legal allegations you're facing here? Like, do you understand what it? Can you inform us a little bit what he's
First of all,
accusing
Gary.
you of?
First of all, this guy has no clue what he's talking about. He has no brain. He's no worse than Sesame Street on crack. The guy has no brains. I mean, I've seen Mr. Rogers look way better than this moron on steroids. I mean, come on. I've seen all this stuff when I was a kid, but this guy, he's no worse than the Teletubbies. And you know what I'm referring to by the Teletubbies.
I know who you're talking about. How do you know this guy? How did you meet him? I know you guys didn't go to high school together. You're 10 years old.
First of all, wait. Through Dustin. First of all, he went to Oak Creek High School. I already pulled out that information on him. It's already sealed and dealed. So there's no escape there. Curie High School's got the footage. WGN Television has got the coverage. Other outlet outsources got the coverage of him lying through his teeth. He's got no idea what he's facing, including my former mentor. And also, she's dating a Chicago police officer. So it's called Mr. Beasley. You better watch your ass because that line that you did on the Jake show here is going to cost you. You know what this looks like? And you know what, Jake, you know the old saying, when you play with matches, you get burned. You step in my crossfire, you're going to get your ass kicked. And like I said before, this whole court case is nothing more than I'll give you an example. You know, let's see if Gary remembers this. What am I doing, Gary? What am I doing?
I have no idea what you're doing.
Last name is Exhibition. First name,
rhymes with, sounds like,
starts with
I don't
an F
know.
and it ends with a G. It's a fishing expedition.
Okay.
Did you ever hear that word, fishing expedition? Look it up. Look it up sometime online.
Okay.
And no, Black Gypsy, I'm sorry to tell you, I already earned my colors. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, loser.
Whoa.
So, Gary, are you still here? Where are you at?
No, I'm here. I can hear you. Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Super chat from Big Fella. It took Beasley a hell of a lot of time to create some evidence. He's obviously not tech savvy. Team Beast. Jake, we need to get Beast to the Carolina game. Beast, you joining us for Jets Panthers?
I'll tell you what. Let me look at my conditions first, and then I'm going to need a bit get him a babysitter because I'm going to write a schedule of what time he needs to eat and everything else.
A babysitter for your gerbil?
It's a guinea pig.
Guinea pig.
Holy
whatever.
Shit,
what is it? What is it? Guinea pig's just bigger than a gerbil?
We call it guinea pig to be a little appropriate, please.
Okay. Is gerbil offensive?
And like I said, Monday I'm going to be with family, and right now my sister's not up to par. Right now we're having a lot of problems running in the family. So if I'm not here for a while, it's because we got family problems going on right now because Julie's dad won't listen, and it's a lot of family controversy going on, and I'm trying to find out what the hell's going on here, and it's just the same old shit. You know how it is. Same old.
Shut up! I'm certain that Beast can solve any family issue. I'm sure once Beast gets together, the head of the family, the head of the table there, he'll figure out.
He's a police officer, absolutely.
Yeah, he'll figure out. He'll solve the family. I don't like hearing family issues. But to be honest, I'd love to be a fly on the wall of them solving their family issues.
Do you think you'd ever ask another human being on a Jets YouTube show if they needed a babysitter for their gerbil?
No, I did not. The community here is fantastic. Jordan, guinea pig. Is gerbil? Is that like a racial slur amongst rodents? Is that like?
I don't know.
Calling him because he got pretty upset when I called him that.
Yeah, guinea pigs like to be respected as guinea pigs, apparently.
Yeah. I just found out that Eskimo is a slur. Did you know that?
Is it?
Yeah, they don't like to be called that. That's not. Yeah, it's kind of a racial slur. Yeah, it just isn't. Yeah, don't call them Eskimos. That's like a slur. I didn't know that until 2 years ago.
Jay Quest has a question for you. He goes, Gary, any thoughts on Beasley putting you on the lawsuit for being a narcissist?
At a certain point, I may have to lawyer up too if these allegations continue.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you need a lawyer,
I know one.
There's only one guy you could call.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Asmaniacs unite when the beast is in trouble, so you better call Bonesy. Ignore the shoes behind him. Those are law books. Those are law books.
All right, one last call and then raffle time. So if you want a chance to win the signed Anthony Beck jersey at the end of the show, this is truly your last chance to do it. PBM, close us out today. What's up, Mike?
Nick's got to win tonight.
Must win.
This is a must win. If we tie it up, we go into Indiana. Good chance that we lose Sunday, but then win, or we could even win and be up 2-1. But we have to win tonight to keep this series alive. Down 2-0, our chances of winning plummet. So they're a huge favorite tonight. Let's show them we're the better team. Let's go Knicks. Kick their fucking ass. And you know what? Fuck you, Allen, and the Pacers, and Halliburton. Choke artists. They're all going down tonight. Fuck them. Fuck them. Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's go Knicks.
Fuck you, Allen.
Well said. Salient points made there by Mike. Love it. Nate says, why does PBM look so official on Memorial Day weekend? Because the man is official. Love it. MC Lean goes, damn, I missed this show. Holy bleep. Where have you been, MC Lean? Good to have you back. See, I go year-round talking about this football team. 2-a-days. Even in May. Even in June. Even in July when there's nothing. Zoink Nation, by the way, wrote in, Gary would destroy Beast in a fight. Book it. I think it'd be a heavyweight 12-round battle. Incredible. I believe that. I think it'd be intense. I think it'd be crazy. And I don't know who's going to win. But I do know this. There are a lot of rumbles that if there were actual rumbles, we would do great on the pay-per-view. Fire Aaron Glenn with a super chat that says, Fire Aaron Glenn. All right. It is officially time for the Asmaniac Raffle. We're doing a day raffle on the show on a Football Friday. We're giving away a signed Anthony Beck jersey. Jet radio announcer, former Jet tight end. The jersey comes with a certificate of authentication. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how this works. All the names have been compiled. Now we got to spin the wheel.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
It is time to find out which one of you is going home with a signed Anthony Beck jersey. As you can see on the screen, all the names are here. There are 54 entries in total. I will hit the shuffle button, and now I will do something that I like to call dramatic. Here we go, folks. Someone's coming away a world champion. And by world champion, someone's coming away with a signed Anthony Beck jersey. The wheel is being spun right now. And the winner of the jersey is J-Boy. J-Boy, I don't know if I have your info or not, but you are the winner. So please reach out to me on either Discord or Patreon, or just shoot me an email, asmanjake@gmail.com. Tell me your name and tell me where I'm sending it, and I will send it your way. Congratulations on winning our top prize. J-Boy, well deserved. Thank you to everyone who participated in the daily raffle. Reminder, if you did participate in the daily raffle, you still have more chances to win prizes, because next week we're giving away a signed Clyde Frazier jersey, Joe Namath jersey, and CJ Mosley jersey. So keep that in mind as well. Folks, you all are awesome. Great show. We're back this afternoon in the 4 p.m. hour. We will break down the latest with the Jets and certainly preview Game 2 at the Garden tonight. I will be there. I will lead us to victory, just like I did in Game 4 and Game 6. Couldn't do it in Game 1, but tonight I lead us to victory. And if the Knicks don't win, don't blame me, because I truly have no impact. But if they win, I want all the credit. See how that works? Anyway, love you all. Thanks for watching the show. Thank you to Nick, who joined us, Nick Faria, at the beginning of the program for some Jets analysis after he was at OTAs on Wednesday. We're back this afternoon. Again, thank you all for watching. Go Jets, everybody.
There's been a lot of you out there asking about who he be. Well, he's about to let you know.
He's Charles.
This rap is so hot, you'll play it on a loop. You'll never get the recipe for chicken noodle soup. Super a spider or even a bat. Got nothing on me or Bobby with his hat. Lady's gotta be a 10 if I'm gonna date her. Shout out to my homie, his name is Gator. I'm Charles.
To all you other guys trying to rap on Jake's show, got nothing on this guy and his flow.
He's Charles.
These bars be so hot, I'll get invited on Fountain. You know who won't? That hater, Alan. My comic book and movie takes are so hot and wild. Since my last verse, Johnny had another child. While YouTube is blowing up, I'm doing my part. I excuse myself every single time that I fart. I'm Charles.
Jets, Yankees, comics, hip-hop, nobody compares when it comes to him.
He's Charles.
I see everyone on Jake's show trying to prop bars. I'm the only one jumping over cars. Plus, he calls the show and he's always really loud. Shout out to Nick, you know he'd be proud. I don't like Zach or his family, they're Mormon. First name Charles, last name Gorman. I'm Charles, motherfucker.
You just witnessed the debut of a proud New York Jet fan and a Jake Asman production. Brought to you by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I'm Charles. Excuse me.